Hey guys, it's Danny's review and I'm back. So I got a updated FIENDSMITH SPRIGHT deck profile for you. The last time I probably showed this profile is for my PS5 tournament at Major Monthly, I believe last month. I came second, but I believe that was before the Banlist. So therefore certain things, a lot of things have changed, especially with with the FIENDSMITH part. So the lineup is a little bit different from the main deck, the extra deck, and of course the side for the new format. So I have played this deck in regionals for my last regionals recently, and I did not up. Um, some unfortunate, during the gameplay so far, during the Swiss's rounds, but the deck still performed good enough. You understand? I think it was 7 rounds of Swiss. I think I got 4 now with 3 losses. It was still good. Even though self, I didn't really prepare too much for the regional, but still could have done way better. You understand? But from since then I learned from that tournament and I changed the extra deck, the main deck and the side deck a little bit. My count is usually a 41 main deck count, but now it's changed to 44. Yes, I always preach consistency is key, but I noticed one of the problems with the main deck is that a lot of monsters and a little bit of non-engine, and to see a little bit more non-engine and probably also less of the bricks of the engines, because they are sub-engines to make up this deck. I increased the non-engine within the deck so I could see it a little bit more often, because a lot of times the non-engine also helps to push through the boards going second, right? So without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. So I have the main deck, the extra deck, and of course the side. Little beautiful ultimate, Sprite Blues, and I finally got this gigantic Sprite. Shout out to Mark Morali, he helped me to get this card. It looks beautiful, honestly, till that again next one, and QCR Sprint. So I'm gonna just take off the light on this because I think the glare wouldn't be too well for you guys to see while doing the profile. So I'm gonna just try to take off the light here. Right, so let's get into deck profile, because if I had the light on too bright you won't really see the cards properly. So main deck, right? So I played 3 Sprite Blue, of course, 3 Jet, 2 red because of hand traps, 1 Carrot, 1 Pixies, right? So that is 3, 6, 9, 10, and of course, well, we're doing monsters first, so you'll see spells and traps later on. So that is it for the Sprite lineup. I would never not play Pixies because it still helps to get over any big monster, you understand, without having to worry about how to get rid of it. But of course, when we see big monsters, we love to go to Pixies. But sometimes in basic games, especially when time, you could just enter battle phase like normal summon at level 2, enter battle phase, attack, damage, Kaleido, see what happens in Pixies, and then lose life points, and battle phase, and then, well, main phase, do your combo, and you're winning time. Unfortunately, it's part of the game, but that is one of your ways to also win in time as well. Or they attack into your monsters and your Pixies them, and of course in time you don't really want to use starter because you'll lose life points unless you're going to gain life points according to your situation, but definitely also helps as time. Play triple beaver, of course, double angler, still no change, needed for the sprint, part of the the engine requirements. Triple swap frog, 1 mirror major, the ice barrier. Okay, still need to play 3 of this because opening this definitely helps you to get Toad underneath 5 summons, and then you can do the rest of your plays, especially if you have extenders like Blue or FIENDSMITH Engraver. Also, this is also a 1-card starter. It can get you the full Sprite board with just the Toad alone. Sorry, with just the swap frog alone. You don't have to make Toad. So this is also a 1-card starter, including Beaver, which will give you IP, Sprint, Gigantic, a starter, So you're getting 4 interruptions, 2 off IP into SP, the bounce from the 2 off IP to SP, the bounce off a Sprint, and the starter, which will give you a red or carrot, so like 4. Which is still great for a 1-card, combo, and you still have 4 cards in your hand, right? Of course, 3 FIENDSMITH Engraver, and the one Lurie. I ain't lie, keeping the QCR definitely helps opening your hand more. I only have one, but it really opens a lot in my hand. Lurie, one of the bricks for the engine, but of course it's still not a brick. Even when you normal summon this still gives you a full sprite combo. You understand? So this is 4 1-card combos. Of course you wouldn't like to normal summon this and then you get hand trapped. We had to hope they in hand trap here and you still make your board. You understand? But worst case scenario, basic game state, yeah, 1-card combo, because this will normal summon going to Lurie. Sorry, Lurie will normal summon going to Requiem. Requiem will bring Engraver. You use the Requiem equipped to this contact for deck equip. Then use Engraver, put back one of the monsters in the graveyard, special to the field, go into sequence, and then you use one of the monsters plus Engraver and make Aerial Eater. And Aerial Eater will send wherever, send an Engraver for follow up, and then you use the sequence and the Aerial Eater to make sprint, and then you do your full board. So it bridges into your whole sprite engine. Understand? So yeah, definitely helps with the consistency. So this is extra for starters here with this engine. Well, 5 if you include here's called a track. So 3 sprint, 5 of these, you understand, 8, and three swap, 3 beaver, 3 starter, 3, 6, 9, and 5, 14. So 14 1-card starters in the deck, which is great for consistency. You want to Fenrir, still keep it in because it's a good card in basic games. It gets rid of floodgates, get rid of pesky monsters, especially monsters that trigger when you go to the grave or anything like that. I still wanted a card to have Mannequin card target from within the core of the deck. You understand? Instead of target, this is the target for the main deck. You understand? Generically good. And some players still play, Fenrir. And also definitely if you with this in the format now and you're going first and you drop that, at least you still have a form of interruption that doesn't give them a draw. Right? If you open it. Right? You'll get back more into the Castria side afterwards. So with the hand traps now, which I usually use for crossout targets, I have also increased the amount of hand traps, which is non-engine, to also help me against decks going second, maybe even going first, but yeah, going second. So we play Ogre now, one of Ogre, because I fit it in because we have the Azimina package now, and when they use Deception, we could Ogre it, which is 2 cards for 1 because they tribute a monster for course from hand or field. So you get 2 on that, which is great. And it have other good targets, into the format. Like when you're playing into a board, even if as the 6th card, you can use this to stop the rage that will try to link off your monster, or the IP trying to, link off into SP or whatever they would like to use it, like, Underworld Goddess or whatever. You can use this against spiel spells that, don't trigger immediately. And other good cards, yeah. So still a good card, doesn't play good into Shifter, but still a good card. Even when with Mannequin Cat, the special are light, because special just because this card does activate from hand or field, for course. You understand? One of the only good skills that does that from field as well. So Mannequin Cat is still specialist, and a lot of lights are going to be going in with FIENDSMITH, but it may change now because, a lot of Fire King Snake Eye may be the plays, and no FIENDSMITH into, the Snake Eyes part, because people wanted to play Dominus Impulse. Sorry, not is Impulse? Yeah, Impulse into the decks, which have restrictions for certain hand traps and engines. So, yeah, but still an option. Still playing double Droll, because I don't want to be Droll. This version of the deck is very much weaker to Droll, so I don't want to draw the crossout target in my hand with the crossout, or it in my hand and the crossout in the deck. So you still want one in the deck, and you wouldn't mind having one in the hand. And of course, a lot of rogue matches in Swiss, and even Azimina Snake Eye, yes, this is still good, because when they use the Deception to search for the actual fusion spell card, I can't remember the name, I think it's Hallows or something, I'm not sure. When you draw them there, that's very strong, because now they can search with the next Azimina monster, and they can search with Snake Eye Ash or Popular, that is very strong. Actually, I think it's also good against the Fire King version, because when you draw them, Like if I think if they start off with the Garunix, you know, the level 4 guild, and or I think yeah, the level 4 guild, and that search whatever it needs to search. Yeah, Julian there, they can use Fire King Island to, you know, destroy something to add, and you're cutting off the Azamina part, or if the Azamina first, you're cutting off some plays from them. So they're still very much good into the format. I think we'll see less of Ubel and more Fire King Snake Eye versions, or Snake Eye versions, with Azamina, of course. And of course also Chimera Fiendsmith, or Chimera Azamina, or White Forest Azamina, or all kind of things got jumping out. So very good. Doubling the Bureau have increases recently. Can't say hey, it's a great hand trap. Of course, it's better when paired with something else. Now we have Azaminas, they're paying out negate before 5, but you can still preemptively imperm the negate, and then when that resolve, then nib them. So yeah, there's that. Triple Ash Blossom, we used to just play 2, but now you have to play 3 in this format because of this in the format. You see this, and the next Purulia, the next Molchami card. See these things when they, especially game 2 and 3, where you're more likely expected to be. We need to ash down we want to, and of course other cards are counted like Call by the Grave, right? Oh, by the way, this wasn't part of the main deck or anything like that. This is the list before I got these. Alright, so I just got these weekend or this week from my prizes that I got for topping many tournaments, like 4 boxes. I think you saw the video already, I uploaded that previously. So this will definitely be going into the deck, probably most likely side, but this is the old list. So when I'm playing again, it will be an update to the list again, but this is the list from previous times I've played. So my last 2 tournaments, I won one of my locals, and then the weekend after that I reached top 4 and we all split, which was the Sunday one, and I got a next box, so that's how I had 4 boxes. So yeah, Sprite's been giving me the profits. Of course, now into the spells, we have 3 starters. Right, so we have about what, let me see, we have 3, 5, 7, 8 hand traps, and of course let me just get out of the way the 1 imperm. I wanted to pay in a second imperm, I never know, I might pay in the second one, but yes, definitely imperm. So I have like 3, 6, 9 hand traps there, right? 3, 6, 9. So that is the hand traps there. A little increase on the hand traps, non-engine. So yes, 3 starters engine, the 1 track engine for the Fiendsmith, and the 1 freezing chains of the ice barrier for, of course, the swap engine, the water engine, toad engine. Right, 1 cross out, all the cross out targets, of course, also Fenrir in case I bounce up a Fenrir, or you know, a mirror match, of course. The 1 of Call by the Grave, QCR. For us again, going second, game 3, they go in second, or going during game 2 or 3, I need to call by it or ash it. Yeah. Tactics, a lot of hand traps, but even though there may be a lot of matches where they play an impulse and or even purge according to the deck, and this will be dead. So me, who has always been playing 1, still playing 1, at least now, since I'm playing 1, I wouldn't be breaking on this too much, or it wouldn't be such of a dead card if I had multiples, and like they used to use trap cards as hand traps, and I couldn't respawn with this. I can't activate this because it's dead, so it doesn't hit as much. So I always play 1. That's why sometimes I want also to do clog, and in some scenarios this wouldn't be dead because there's impulse. There's impulse, or you know, purge, man. Those traps definitely make this dead. So if I notice that it's really doing that, sometimes I may decide this out, you know. But definitely a great card. Wouldn't take it out to the deck itself. Forbidden Droplets by 2, and 1 Book Eclipse, never leave home without it. Good bait. Baits Ash Blossom or Negate. If not, it trades for the board. 1 card trading for the board. A lot of boards in Swiss, especially with monsters, fusion, synchros, that kind of thing, playing them face down, and you just had to deal with the link monsters, makes it way easier. Like, you know, again, these were Caesar, it beats Desiree Negate, because if they don't negate it, then the Desiree will get flipped face down, the Crip will go to the graveyard and they'll lose that negate. So it definitely trades with that. And then therefore if you pair it with other cards like this, it makes it live on the bait the negate or ash. Or you could chain droplets and send it and still negate the negate, and then the whole, you know, send something else and get rid of, like, negate the link monster, and then the rest of the board just go face down and you just play, you know, the Sprite deck. So, and these also go good going second, because sometimes you'll be playing into the board plus hand traps, which is tough, or set imperms, you know, so this will help. So this is my non-engine. So I was like, the deck is 40 or 41. The engine itself, all the engines come add up together, you know, Sprite engine, Nimble engine, FIENDSMITH engine, Frog engine, right? They all add up to 28. So I was like, I have space for 12 non-engine if I want to play 40, right? Or 13, right? So with that now, I was like, let me increase the amount of non-engine to hopefully 15. But in this case, it went to 16, I believe, and it performed well. I saw more non-engine or hand traps or spell and traps, and that helped out with you know, playing into boards or so forth. So like, you know, I think this is 3, 6, right, 7, and 8, 11, 13, 16. So 16 non-engine, right? So I increased it. I performed well at 44, definitely, because I won my lookers and I reached top 1 split with everybody else. So the extra deck now. Okay, so also notice I'm not playing Meow Mine because we know Lacrima is gone, the future monster. I increased the deck from 41 to 44. We're playing Ogre now. We are, yeah, that is basically what changed, I believe, from my old list. Yeah, that I could see from Orphan. So yeah, so we dropped Meow Mine, playing Ogre. We increased by Ash Blossom, the deck count increase. Yeah, definitely that has been the changes for the deck. Yeah, so onto the extra deck. So QCR Gigantic Sprite tags, 2 Gigantic Sprites still, Toad, the Toad package, 2 Mannequin Cat still B, replacement elf. Helps me get into my FIENDSMITH lines because, you know, a lot of decks out there have light or fiends, so I can go special one of them monsters and just bring my FIENDSMITH engraver and go off. A lot of time I've been Droll going second, and I had to use this to break the board because I went to the FIENDSMITH package and break the board, and if I kill them, I would definitely make a board after breaking the board, a little mini board to apply pressure, because sometimes you don't have the follow-up or enough cards in hand to deal with. So Mosquito for the games, easy games, goes Burr. They did the Wave Hiking Caesar for the FIENDSMITH package. Now when I played this when I was in regionals, I dropped this. Unfortunately I missed it, but I dropped it and I regretted it, so now it's back in the deck. I think I also dropped this to 1. Regret that. I believe I think I dropped this to 1, and I will tell you I would regret that. I wouldn't do that again unless I really have no choice to. So that was for the XYZs. Sprint for the links, combo, IP and board, battle combo, SP, battle combo, Requiem sequence, that is the links, and Necrocrypt for the fusions, Air Eater, Desiree. So we playing this now because we do a Lacrima, so we would make this to send any other FIENDSMITH for follow-up, and then we would link off this on sequence, right? And we would make Sprint, and of course Sprint will send an Angler, and Angler get 2 Beavers, and you'll get Gigantic and go off from there. So it bridges into the combo. Before I wasn't playing this, and I was trying to make this and then link off this and this into, you know, Sprint. And now I was like, hey, they playing this, New Bellows playing this, so I was like, hey, why don't I do the same thing? You understand? It makes also the track and the Lurie 1-card combo. When you open track and Lurie, this is making this wasn't 1-card combo, so eventually I put this in the deck, so I had to drop something. Oh, I now remember what I dropped. I dropped I Gusto Phoenix. I missed that little bird. It was also a way of OTKing besides some this with pixies. Understand? I missed the bird. If I get space, I'll definitely pay a team. This may drop if I get a Lacrima, the level 4 guild, the FIENDSMITH guild. Now, mind you, if you do get hand trap on the Lacrima, like an Ash or Imperm or something, yes, you would still need this to make the sprite board. But if you don't, you wouldn't need this. But it's according to your hand and things. So I think at certain times, if playtesting going forward, if most of the times you know, I get hands with Lacrima plus, you know, other cards, I guess necessarily I don't have to play this again compared to the times that I would probably need it. A lot of times you don't need it, but sometimes you do need it, especially in like basic games. It's all drawing certain cards in the engine. So if I do drop this, I'll probably play back that Gusto Phoenix in the extra deck, definitely. Or maybe something even better, you never know. But that Gusto Phoenix, yeah. So you're playing Aerolita now, definitely a new inclusion to the extra deck. And of course Phoenix is gone. Yeah, and Caesar is back. Of course, double mannequin cards. People really underestimate this card. This is not only for like cheesing out targets to stun your opponent, but also helps me combo, break boards, gain life points with Resignator in time. In case they ash the gigantic sprite, you know, you can still, if you have extenders, make this and special ash from the graveyard and then special this from deck or wherever it may be and gain life points. Break boards, you know, make boards, definitely great cards though. So that's why I play 2. A lot of lists are where you would see that they only play 1 or sometimes none. I don't really like the Melfi version, so I only know this. So that's why you never see me really use that engine of at all. This was the side deck for the last 2 tournaments. It's the exact same deck I played for the last 2 tournaments. So Resonator for people is a lovely tuner. You know the joke. It's a time. Mannequin cat target, Ash Lord, Christia, of course, all these light FIENDSMITH stuff or White Forest or wherever it may be. Or anything with fairies, knock them out. Even like, you know, deck that using Goblin Bikers, what the next one is light, you know, so definitely good card. And also good in room matches. For 10 pi because they're dragons, this is a dragon, lock them out to the extra deck, I can't nothing. It would have to really depend on an engine like, you know, Regeki, Lightning Storm or Dark Hole, Droplets, that kind of thing. Put into branded because they are also dragons, so you can lock them out to the extra deck. When you go first in your mannequin cat and they fuse with branded fusion, bring the dragon to fuse, if you chain link 1, 2 or wherever. When the build a chains, you can put this as chain link 3 of mannequin cat. Right, that would be chain link 3, 2 or higher, and it would special this once they had no response, and once this come onto the board, their chain link 1 or lower will won't be able to fuse from the extra because you lock them out to the extra deck. Right, and also, you know, get into rogue matchups like Madolchi or anything. Even maybe what's called this deck? Mimighoul, because a lot of the cards are Earth, so therefore they can't go into the extra deck. Funny enough, I played online and I locked them out. Okay, Magnamut and Jury Swim because we have FIENDSMITH still out here. Even if they're playing the Fire King version, we could just get rid of the IP because usually they make IP into the combo and make whatever on the board and have the IP in graveyard. I think it's Ambler Wheel, and then when Ambler Wheel get destroyed, bring back the IP, the Kieran, you know, that kind of thing. Kieran, Ambler Wheel, bring back IP. You have those 2 on board, do something, and also have Grunix to come back from the graveyard as well. So therefore they have 2 level 8 and IP, and then probably when you special something they would like use the spell to XYZ into the big one that is act like a Regeki, and then if it still has something against that then they'll IP into SP double. So this is just get rid of the IP line, and you know they just have the Regeki monster, which is the XYZ. From the spell card they play in the back, I think they name it Sanctuary, yeah, Vikings. And anybody playing FIENDSMITH, yeah, great. Target the stuff in the graveyard, banish it, the engravers or whatever they may be. And we'll have good applications again, White Forest or any other deck, you know, so yeah. So I used to play Castura Sprites before, right? Before I play FIENDSMITH Sprites. and now I put this mini engine into the side deck. So the thought process behind this now is a lot of these decks I play in FIENDSMITH, even if it's Azamina, they actually are tight. So in game 2, game 3, when the side in the Malchami, full Rus, full Wallace, sorry, or Purulias. Of course, they'll get a draw for Purulia, but more will be siding this. You understand? They won't get no draw from this. So when I special this, you'll be like, oh my gosh, that. And it's like, yeah, you can't get a draw for that. And with this now, this is just a search 8 of Fenrir. But more likely, this is what I'm going for. And then this will get boot. So now we have Graveyard Ripping. I guess Fire Kings is good. I'm going to use the, let's call it, the field spell. Or any card. Once it's still there with that, or cast your monster there with this to rip the graveyard, because they need the graveyard for resources. U-Bells, getting rid of the U-Bell monster space down or whatever, so Spirit card, pull it back, and the card really have much options to contact views for Phantom. Getting rid of the FIENDSMITH, engine piece, like Requiem or Sequence. So Sequence being ripped out of the extra deck, make sure they can go into Desiree or combo with Aerial Eater to send the little Phantom, the little U-Bell monster, I can't remember the name, the level 1, and then they use the Mudcracker to bring it back and full combo with U-Bell. Also, taking out, sometimes they might have one Yama for U-Bell, so taking out that, custom out to the whole Unchained package, which also gains them pluses, Shavara, Trap, and Bomb and stuff, and then Yama from the Graveyard Banishing to bring back a monster, extensions, that kind of thing, extend the plays, definitely great. So I side this in going game 2 or 3 when going first, to rip the extra deck and, rip the graveyard, but more importantly the extra deck, so they'll have less to play with, and of course getting less draws. Now, most of the time to go against this, so this will be definitely great, and I already have the Fenrir in the main deck, so this is a mini engine I side in, and definitely helped me. So in my finals against Manu, I ended up opening this, and I went after his Yama, and he had to imperm this with a basic board I had, because I think I just had nothing much to do at that point in time. Being was this Magnum Mutt in hand and an imperm set. I special blue when he played this, and I searched Pixie so he won't kick down something, but I should have gone for a Carrot to have actually negate. So also the basic game said when they play this, we try not to use starter, we set the starter and use it on their turn. Hopefully we open one of this, we could rip from the extra deck. If we try to blue jet add and the hand trappers, we could rip from the extra deck. If not on their turn, we rip from the extra deck. If once they negate it to destroy it. And if they use monster effects, we rip from the extra deck. You try to use blue jet and get Carrot or red. So you have basic negates plus this extra deck ripping, and hopefully you open some hand traps, to keep them at bay and then come back and we SPRIGHT combo and kill them. Right, so that's basically the game plan for going into this. When they use the other Molchami, we just use Engraver. You get the SPRIGHT board, the full SPRIGHT board on it. That would either you give them one draw, because you would special blue will get jet and the jet will give them the one draw, or you do go for blue or jet and you just go for frog, swap frog, and make 2 and they never get a draw. I did that in finals as well when he played me early against me, and that's how we play around that. Also, if we don't open that, we could also use this. Well, we have to use a normal summon. Hopefully it's Beaver and they just get one draw for Beaver. But if it's Beaver, if it's not Beaver and it's a monster plus extender, which is a SPRIGHT monster, they'll get 2 draws, which sucks. But if you use this and take the Purula, special summon Swap Frog will send the Ice Barrier monster, that will search the spell bring back the Ice Barrier monster, and you make Toad on this, and then you could just hopefully have hand traps on this with the Toad, have a negate, and lock them out with the targets, point to wherever deck it may be. Right? That was the basic game plan, but now we also have Engraver for Purulia. If you open it, you can still make, Sprint, Bounce, Toad, and hopefully some hand traps or whatever. Right? If you want to get them the one draw, you can get the Sprint, Bounce, IP. Right? With the starter, which is IP is 2, starter, Spring bounce, that is 4. And you just get them 1 draw. So Engrave is definitely the best card against Perulia. Against this, Castria package and hand traps. So this basic game state. Cutting it a little close, but that is the best I could figure out at the moment. So that is the game plan against this, going games 2-3. And well, of course, any deck that play in hand traps and stuff, when deciding on more hand traps or whatever against you, and you open this, well, most of the times they preemptively do this, but if they don't, they get punished by Unicorn. That is the game plan going first when game 2 or 3. Still have the same 3 card going second combo. Ulti Trust, Ulti Duster, Ultra Dark Hole until I get a QCR one. Good into most deck boards. You understand? There's still even trades for Negate for Desiree. Trust into Dark Hole or Duster, definitely great. Or into Track if you want to get Engine. Cosmic Cyclone, one of. This is for, you know, Runic, in the Runic version. Still tracing good into Desiree. So you can activate something wherever they try to negate it with Desiree. You change this, target this sequence, Desiree won't negate because you need to check the link rating while resolving the effect. Anti-spell, not going nowhere. Home without it, you understand? Get rid of all those pesky board breakers like, you know, Regeki, Dark Hole, no more, those kind of things, Trust, Tactics. Yeah, they need this to counter this, if not, well, or Super Poly Droplets, but if not preemptively using Super Poly or Droplets, I don't mind, because sometimes you need to sequence it in a correct way so they get the most value, and forcing them to do so before this result kind of throws them off, honestly, to tell you. You know, also custom more from the continuous spells and the field spells and so forth. So yeah, definitely a great card against Tempai as well too. Grave of the Super Organism. Sorry, Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. I use this for Chimera and Branded. Excuse me. Still a great card. A lot of them was the level 6 or higher. They can special summon level 6 or higher monsters. Cannot activate the effects or declare attacks. Right? The ones on the field cannot activate effects or declare attacks. Right? So definitely great against Chimera, FIENDSMITH, or Chimera Azimina. Or the Azimina monsters are level 6 or higher. So Winfus definitely great against them. Branded also great against the Fusion Masters. So yeah, definitely a great card. And probably some other applications like some Synchro deck or anything like that. Yeah, great against those. And of course, Dimensional Barrier. Good against Synchro decks, fusions, wherever it covers. Sometimes I may side the Trust going first as well. And if the hand trap, I set this and stun them back or come back. So like Tempai, that kind of thing. So like good against Tempai or any other deck with a lot of spells and engines. Banner Chimera. Anything with a lot of field spells or anything like that, continuous spells. They depend on or Runic. Generally good. More Charmies, FIENDSMITH package decks. FIENDSMITH package decks or any light deck, dark deck. Branded, Tempai, FIENDSMITH decks, anything light base, White Forest, Time. Yeah. So that's deck profile. Of course, these cards will definitely have an update and these will be inside the deck. I think a basic combo. So, like I say, if the Purula you, this was the Water Mulchami, you just engraver, send to grave. You get Track, right? The Track will get your Lurie, right? Lurie special back, so you get discarded. Link off, and you get Lacrima special. Now, of course, if I have Lacrima, the Gale gives you more options to do more things or get more food in the graveyard for follow up or whatever you'd like to do. But in this case, I don't have Lacrima, so just go into the next engraver. Right? Yeah, these 3 in the graveyard. Yeah, this, put back this. Sometimes I will put back this just in case they may have a bestial. Sometimes I'll leave this in the graveyard. If this even get what you call it, get bestialed, I still have this equip, and I could just make neck equip with the hand, and that's like normal sprite monster or whatever. If they don't do these things, I will be forced to. But yeah, sorry, the water Molchami, and I'll probably have to go along that line with the hand chopper again with the neck equip up again a draw. But yeah, let me say all they did was water Molchami, the Perulia. Equip this, sorry, they recycle this already, right? So you put it back into the deck, or extra deck, especially engraver, link, and you would make your sequence effect. So you recycle probably these two, right, or whatever you choose, and you would make aeroliter effect, send back our next engraver that you just shuffle back. Sorry for paying it so deep in. So now you had those there, right? All this is on the Perulia, so they ain't get no drawers yet. Your link, you're going to spring effect, send angler will special 2 beavers, up to 2 beavers, your choice. Of course, we will take maximum. Go into gigantic, right? And we use gigantic effect. So from here on out, this is your choice. According to where your hand is, if you have hand traps or whatever, you could just probably make the toad by specialing swap frog effects and the ice barrier monster. That will search the spell, freezing chains, activate it, special list, and make totally awesome. So under Perulia, other Molchami, not this one, Perulia, you didn't give them no draw, and you have the bounce and a negate. Very much a weaker board from getting 4 interruptions. So you have 2, but hopefully you have some hand traps to and non-engine to pair with this. So you know, yes, so you have this, what they can see and what they can't see. Which is so strong and you didn't get them a draw. So they have 4 cards in hand because they use Perulia. We'll see if they use 2 Perulia, they have like 3 cards in hand, and they draw 1, they'll have 4. If they use 1, they'll just have 5, and they have to play with what they have. Right? So this plus, you know, non-engine, because they just use engraver alone, and they give you these 2. So you still have 4 other cards to play with. Now mind you, if you feel that's not enough and you just want to get them 1 draw instead of especially any swap frog, you would specially the blue, right? And the blue will get you jet, especially jet from hand. You get them 1 draw from Perulia, right? And you'll get starter. And now you can link off these 2, right, into the grave, and you would make your little QCRIP masquerader, just tell me, and your set starter. So now you have a bounce IP going into SP for 2 removals, right? So that is 1, 2, 3, and of course the starter, which is 4, which will give you a red or carrot, whichever one you would choose to play on the board at the moment, right? Either one. So this equals one of these. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and you just gave them 1 draw, which is still great underneath the Perulia when you open engraver. Understand? So it's the best card to open against Perulia. But with this, the Kashtira package, blue gain one of these, setting your starter for the other one to special either one you don't have. Some hand traps on engines. That is the best thing I could say going first when you're playing into those Molchamis. So that was the combo there. Of course, generally you could, as you've seen, engrave against your full 1 card combo into your normal sprite deck. You could play scissors. I can't remember the full name, is a level 2. I think it's soul scissors, yeah. So when you're using aeroliter to send whatever to the graveyard, you could send soul scissors, and whenever a monster is destroyed by battle or card effect, I believe you can special summon itself to the field, and when it's special summon, you can destroy a monster on the field. You can use that, but I choose not to play it because I just don't want to contribute more bricks into the deck. And like, it can't special summon itself from hand, so it's like too much of clogging on the normal summons like swap frog, beaver, angler, the ice barrier monster. Um, yeah, that's sometimes the issues that go with that, the clogging of normal summons and things. Like one game in my last tournament, weekend gone, I got like double beaver, I believe, and an ice barrier monster. That was tough, that was rough. But still made a miniature board. But I lost that game. But in general, I did great. I think I lost that match, but in general, I did great. I still made it to top cut and we split, and that was it. So that is the deck profile, guys. It will be updated again soon. Come, right? To combat this, of course, more, and of course, we using this myself. So going second, we could draw into more non-engine and probably some engine. Hopefully not drawing into anglers and lures and stuff like that, but it would probably happen, so we would have to have a game plan for that. Of course, we do play droplets, so even if we draw into angler, if we have droplets, we could still discard angler for droplets, and we would still combo from there. Siding pattern, sometimes I decrease the amount of swap frogs and one of the jets into the siding patterns, going first or second wherever needed. More likely probably I think second, yeah, so I could get more non-engine into the deck and combat wherever I have to fight against going second. Going first, sometimes I may side them back in, either one or both, because consistency is key and we want to make sure we get the best of boards we could make, especially playing through hand traps, the best of hands we could get to make the best of boards we could play. And while playing through the hand traps, they deplete on wherever they have in the hand, unless it's the Munch armies, and all the time they'll open it, and we would hopefully overcome them and win that game. Yeah. So going forward, I will probably come with the next deck profile with these in the side, or in the main, but more likely in the side. Need each card to do something going first or second, so I'll probably more have this in the side, and the side will be different. I don't know about the extra deck or the main deck, but hopefully they'll be edited to, improve in the format. And even though people think this is the worst deck to play, it is true. But when there's a will, there's a way, and hopefully I find a way. Everything works out. Luck also on my side, and yeah, we'll come back with more deck profiles and more profits and more stuff to win and more new things to do. I do play 10 Pi now and then, so now and then I will be playing 10 Pi. I'll have to get a third copy of this. Shout out to Vamsi, so you'll be sending my third one, of course, with a deal to watch Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. But yeah, yeah, and shout out to all those who watch my YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, guys, and also shout out to all the stores, the local stores, MVE, VRG, and Gamers Trove. I mainly function in MVE. Shout out to Mark for giving me, the gigantic sprite QCR and a lot of other cards as well. And shout out to all the guys who helped me out, source cards or just be nice guys to me. It's a great community, very friendly community. It has its ups and downs, little thorns and there, but great community generally. And I thank you to all you guys, all the supporters, all those been nice to me, all the friends. And Wilfred, and of course Clarke. So that is deck profile, and we're out.